Okay, we're good to go. So I am glad to be back. Thank you, Jen, for welcoming me back to Creative Sanctuary 76. It's a beautiful place to be. I love to be here, and I love to see all you beautiful people. The last time I was here was in 2014, and in 2015, not a lot has changed. I still don't have a car. The bike is the Lambo, so we see me riding around. That's me. And also, well, I guess there is one new thing, one new interesting thing. I started to learn Spanish recently. Yes. I started to learn Spanish because I feel like I want to actually embrace being multicultural. Like, I don't actually have two different cultures, but I figure like Latino literally probably means is that you're brown and you can speak at least one word in Spanish. So I want to complete that cultural instance and speak Spanish. So the interesting thing about my Spanish class right now isn't learning Spanish. It's the fact that there's a pregnant girl in my Spanish class. Oh, no. Now, as I'm describing this, you might think it's strange, like, why is he so interested in this pregnant girl? Like, does he have some kind of weird, like, fantasy about her? Like, what is this about? But no, it's because my class is from 2 to 2:50. So that means that is prime birthing time. Like if there was any other time to give birth, it would be at 2 o'clock. Because think about it. At 12 o'clock she probably ate and had a little lunch. And then at 2 o'clock the baby's also eating that food. So at this point the baby's making an active decision. I'm ready to come out or I'm not ready to come out. So if the baby's ready to come out, I want to be ready to catch this baby. I don't know how birthing works, but I figure there's like a water breaking situation. So I'm gonna have my floaties on in class, ready to go for this baby to pop out. So when I'm sitting in class, I'll just demonstrate sitting down here. When I'm in class, I'm waiting for the baby to be born, and I see her make faces of discomfort sometimes. So she'll be like, ooh. And she'll like repeat the word like, oh, todos, mujer, hermano. And I'm watching, really excited. Like she doesn't notice, like if she ever noticed, she would think it was strange. But she never did. So that's just something that's really out there, but I do really appreciate her. And she actually gave birth recently. So let's give a hand for her giving birth. So I actually saw her in class recently, post a baby. And I don't know, why does she look so different, like without the balloon anymore? Like it's such a strange look. So I don't know, like I think maybe women just look really good when they're pregnant. So yeah, that's a thing. So yes, pregnancy is a very beautiful thing. But in order for me to be ready to catch that baby, I feel like in 2015 I had to work out. So after I saw her pregnant, I immediately thought, I gotta get fit. Because have you ever seen a fat doctor? Like a doctor with big old chubby like sausage fingers? No! Like look at Grey's Anatomy. All the doctors are really attractive models. Not a single fat one. Because think about it, if your MD was eating a McGriddle in front of you, would you want him to reach inside your pancreas and touch your stomach at the same time? No, you would not. So I decided to hit the gym because I wanted to just get fit for that. And I noticed that the gym that I use, which is a gym on campus, is that there's a little section of the gym where like all the old professors go, like 90 years old and above, like easily ready to die. People work out in that gym. And so I was thinking recently that I wanted to work out in there with them. And not because of why you think like, oh, there's less people in there, so he probably feels more comfortable working out. No. I want to work out in there because there is no judgment in that room. Like, first of all, it's literally a no flex zone because they can't flex. So when you go in there, they're just trying to work out strictly for survival. It's all survival. Like, their doctor probably called them up and was like, yo, you're writing on the chalkboard and you go home and you sit down and you watch Netflix. You need to change up the routine. So then they started to hit the gym. So I feel like if I were in that gym, I would just be really motivated and I would literally look like Hugh Jackman right now. But unfortunately, I did not get that sort of motivation. But I feel like my life would be different if I was dating somebody. Yes, but I'm still single. Let's get a hand for singlehood. Since I'm still single, I've decided to like find creative ways to handle my loneliness. And the number one thing that I started doing recently is Netflix binge watching, which is watching a lot of shows in one sitting and just wasting your life away. So I decided to do this recently, and there's something that goes wrong with this plan really quickly that I noticed. So my first binge, I was watching Sons of Anarchy. Does anybody know what that show is real quick? Oh, there we go. I got some Sons of Anarchy fans. So I'm watching Sons of Anarchy for like 12 hours straight, and suddenly Netflix stops and asks me, "Are you still watching Sons of Anarchy?" And it says it in that tone, like, "Are you still watching Sons of Anarchy?" It sounds really condescending, and it confused me. Like I was just sitting there with ramen, just like trying to eat and watch the show, and it stops. So I feel like there should just be a better way for it to tell me to stop watching it. Like, oh, like, do you want to get up and get another bowl of cereal, man? Question mark. Or, hey, did you start dating somebody in the last 40 minutes that you were watching this show? Maybe you should stop. Because literally there's only two things that can possibly happen by the time that shows up. Is either I fell asleep or I am still watching it and my life didn't change in the last 10 hours. So Netflix binge watching is such an interesting thing. And it's something that I enjoy to do. So if you binge watch, don't be ashamed. Because I'm there with you. And it's still asking me those condescending questions every single time. But the other thing that I find interesting about Netflix binge watching is after you get done with the series, it lovingly comes to you with open arms and asks you, look at these other series that you might be interested in. And this also works for movies as well. So recently I watched a really dark, like sad movie, and right after it was over, they recommended me an extra dark, sad movie. So it's such a strange thing that happens. Like, oh, like you watch this sad movie. Here's a movie where a young puppy in its womb committed suicide with his own umbilical cord. Yes. Thank you, Netflix, because I just want to drive a knife into my skull. I'm glad you helped me go deeper in my depression, Netflix. You're such a good pal. I love you so much. Yes, Netflix has a lot of things wrong with it. Like, can you imagine if that happened in real life for a second? Like you're at Walmart and you're buying food. For me, it would just be like ramen, like chicken nuggets or something. And so the cashier is there, and they're looking at you, and they're like, "Hey, I see you're buying ramen and chicken nuggets. Might I recommend the kids' cuisine meal? Because I know you're watching a lot of TV, but at least in this case, you can get it in small portions. And ironically, you can buy the kids' meal for the kids you'll never have." Ooh, Netflix and cashier woman, thank you so much for allowing me to realize the sadness of my life and what it will be. But yes. So speaking of sad things, who here like plays sports as a child? Like your parents like made you play sports? Let me see those hands there. Like raise them high. Be proud that your parents made you play sports. Okay, a good like 60% of the room, I would say. Can somebody check my math? 60%?
You all. Alright,
about 60%. So, I have sad news for all you people that raise your hands. Your parents probably tried to kill you. And here's why. So, if any of those sports were football or wrestling, that's automatically a death sentence. Because think about it. Football and wrestling are literally survival sports. You train in order to put on padding in order to survive the game itself. You literally are becoming a gladiator. And your parents wanted you to do this. Isn't that really upsetting? Your parents want to put you through this? And now I feel like for the ladies, something that a lot of parents make them do is like softball or like baseball. Well, I guess for women specifically, it'd be softball. Why are there two different names? Because does the ball actually change? Can somebody verify this? The ball's different. It's actually a softer ball. It's a bigger ball?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Why is the sport so bad for men? Why can't we get the smaller balls? But anyway, so with baseball, think about it. You literally are going against your natural instinct. Your natural instinct is to duck when something really fast is flying at you. But this sport trains you to hit that really fast thing, which is against all things that your body would want to do. So your parents, not looking out for your safety. Not at all. I would not make my kids play sports at all. Like literally, my children will be the best chess players of all time. They will literally beat Bobby Fischer. And if you don't know who Bobby Fischer is, he's the best chess player of all time. Yes. So my kids will never play sports. But the thing that my kids will do is like the only time I feel like they should see any helmet of some sort is if they like decide to like, I don't know, be Vikings for some reason, or like in Brave. I think they wear Viking helmets in Brave. Or they decide to be in the army, because I feel like that'd be cool. I'd let my kids be in the Army if they want to protect their country. Like, why not? I'll let you do that. Like, if they wanted to be Chris Kyle, the American sniper, I will let them go do that. Because patriotism is a beautiful thing. But, yeah, seriously. But I think something that's interesting is, like, do you understand why there's so much controversy around American Sniper? Like, what people have an issue with? Anybody know? Okay, if you don't know. I think mainly it's because he killed so many people. He killed 163 people as a sniper, which is something not a lot of people do. So it's a rarity that he did this. And so people are upset that he killed so many people, but it's like, what do you expect someone to do when they go to war? Like, how else do you interpret the phrase, protect my country? Like, do you think that means like sitting behind a keyboard and like typing mean emails to North Korea? No. Like, please don't bomb me with nuclear weapons, smiley face emoji. No, that's not gonna protect your country at all. Not at all. So I think that's just really strange that people are so up in arms about it. But maybe they'll figure that out eventually, because I let my kids go to war for sure. So something that happened recently that I thought was really weird is that, so I work in like a dining court area, and so that means I work in the kitchen, and I like grill food and all that kind of fun stuff. And there is a woman there that's really mean to me all the time. I know. It's like, why do you want to be mean to me? Like, it's literally a schoolyard playground whenever I walk in there. Like, what she does to me is she says my name, and then she tells me what she needs after that. Like, Keenan, I need you to do da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, she literally looms over me, even though she's shorter than me, which is odd. So maybe I literally shrink whenever she speaks to me, which is something I've never experienced before. It's as if I turned 90 and then I was suddenly 20 feet tall. Actually, that's the opposite. That's taller, isn't it? Yes, the math is not here today. Don't ask me to do any more math. But anyway, I saw her at work one day with her baby boy, who was like 7, no, he's like humanized her completely. Like, suddenly my heart for her grew and I loved her. And then the next day at work came, and I was in there, and I was hyped to see her. I was like, hey, good to see you. I saw your baby and everything. Then the same situation happened. She loomed over me and got really angry at me because I was talking to my boy across the counter. And he's one of those friends where, like, you know how you have a friend where you ask them one question and they can speak about it for like 2 hours straight? He was that guy. So he's just talking, and I was kind of standing there listening. And then she gets mad and asks me, like, yo, this isn't a social hour, stop talking to him. Even though I was just lovingly listening to him. Because I wanted to get back to work. But anyway, I thought that like she was really nice, but that wasn't the case at all. So I was thinking how like, literally, if in World War II, with all those like rallies that Hitler was having, if he had a baby with him, I low-key would consider switching sides. I'd be like, yo, that baby though, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I'm not a racist. I love Jewish people. They're beautiful. Do you agree that Jewish people are beautiful? Yeah, it's good that there's some people that agree with me. I'm scared. Maybe the rest of you are racist and I'm perfectly fine. Maybe this is the thing. But anyway, my childhood I think was really interesting. This is something I've been thinking about recently as well, because now that it's 2015, like Gracie Grace said, when you look back at the last few years, you just wonder what happened. Like, what were the other years like? So I was thinking about how, like, in my childhood, the number one thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted it so badly to be a police officer. Why? Because of the power and authority that you get as an officer. Even though now they kind of have a bad rap with like Ferguson and chokeholds and all that stuff. I still wanted the power as a child. Because none of that stuff actually happened yet. I think it was just like Rodney King or something strange. Yeah, something related to Black History Month. But yes, I wanted that authority. But then I realized recently that I didn't want to be a police officer as a child. I think low-key, the thing that I wanted to be was maybe I wanted to be a woman. Because I think about all the powerful people in my life. All the things that have such strong pull for me. Like my teachers were really cool, and I always say my female teachers are the best. And I asked out 3 different girls, and they all said no. But if one of them had said yes, I literally will be Ryan Gosling before you. I will be hitting the gym every day, eating the best food you could imagine. That would be me. So women have such an intense power that I didn't know they had before. So I feel like instead of a police officer, I definitely wanted to be a woman as a child. Even though I did not go for the cross-dressing and all that fun stuff. I definitely avoided that track real quick. Because of course, that's what I wanted, was the police to go in hard by having me wear a dress to school. Can I get an amen? as a child is like I experienced something that I think I'm scared of because I don't think anyone else experienced this before. Is that like I literally experienced like public school sanctioned molestation. It was the weirdest thing of all time. Yes, let me explain. And I'm scared because I hope other people experience this because if I didn't, this isn't a joke. This is a cry for help. So I hope someone else experiences this. So what happened is I was in the gym because they called all the students in the gym class, and I was in there, and there was like a big line of students. And so one of the teachers came over to me and he was like, "Hey, today is scoliosis check day." So to me, that sounds like a fake dinosaur name. So I was like, what do they need from me in this fake thing that doesn't exist? I was very scared. So they told me it was scoliosis check day, and as I see the kids go in, I also noticed that they don't come back out. So as far as I know, they are disappearing and not coming back. So I'm scared about what that is. And then they also tell me that when you get in there, you have to take your shirt off. Now, that also was alarming, because here's the reason why. I already hated gym class because we had swimming at some point in the day, which means you had to take your shirt off. And I was like a really chubby third grader, so having to take my shirt off was the worst thing of all time. So I'm in this line with all these other kids, and I'm like coughing to try to get in the back of the line. Like, excuse me, I just need to get back in. And do that every single time until I was at the back. So finally, I had to get in. I walk in there, and I remember I saw like a lot of shirts and stuff all over the place, and I took mine off, and then that's all I remember. I don't remember what I ate that day for lunch or anything else. The only thing I remember was that coughing situation. So it was very scary. But I think that's not exactly what happened at all. I think you're probably just checking for scoliosis, and I can stand here today. Isn't that amazing? So I don't have scoliosis, clearly, though. I'm still standing. Which is a good thing at all. It really is. I'm still here. So I think also that like I may have reached my like dream of being a woman. Kind of, in a sense. Let me explain. So, I think that when you examine my 20s lifestyle, you may think I'm a woman, powerful, white, living in Chicago or New York, just based on my lifestyles alone. So here's what I like to do. I take the bus at least 5 times a day, which is something that if you live in Chicago, you do all the time, because why would you use a normal car? Because you're probably going to be stuck in traffic and stuff. So I take a bus 5 times a day. I drink coffee to survive, also something I for sure observed from other Chicago people, and I own an iPhone, which is something you cannot deny a businesswoman would not have. So I think it's interesting that all those things kind of add up to what I am, which is really strange. But also something I think is interesting is that with all this going on, I also have to take trips to the grocery store sometimes. So I actually have to buy like my own food and stuff. So since I don't have a car, sometimes I take my friends to go to the store as well. And that is the worst experience of all time. Because you have to be at their whim as soon as you get there. Like literally you can't just like divert and go wherever you want to. No. They're going to be with you. Especially if they didn't come to the store for any reason at all. So I had this recent experience that was terrible. So this person was with me and we were walking around and she saw my list. She was like, "Oh, you need bread next. Let's go to the bread." So we get to the bread and we're looking at all the breads and she's like, "Oh, you should get the one with health benefits." So immediately I'm thinking, health benefits? Do I need to sign a 401k and a I-9 to get this bread? Does Obama know this bread is here stealing all his health benefits? If all I needed was bread, I wouldn't sign anything for this. So I ended up buying the bread. It was alright. It wasn't that good at all. So maybe I don't need health benefits from bread whatsoever. But that was really strange. But I also realized that going along with like the white, powerful Chicago woman, something that I have seen them have that's really interesting is a parka. Now, who here knows what a parka is?
Yep.
Now, of all the women here, how many of you own a parka? I'm guessing at least half. One parka. Oh, we got a parka in the house. Parka right there. Oh, parka. Okay, so at least half of you have a parka. So I'm going to explain what a parka is if you don't know. A parka is a really long jacket that like goes around your knees essentially, and it just covers you completely. Like there's no way for you to get snow on you or anything. You're completely covered. And it literally looks like a big old sleeping bag when you get into it. So I think like parkas look really comfortable. Like it's a big sleeping bag. It's a beautiful thing. However, something that I noticed was that the only equivalent to a parka for men is a trench coat. which is not as cool. And trench coat literally has a negative connotation like trench, like warfare. Like, why do I have to be all muddied and dirty to wear this object, this coat? It's a really negative sounding thing, so I don't want a trench coat. I would prefer a parka, for sure, than a trench coat. But unfortunately, I don't want to buy either one now, because now I realize a trench coat isn't very nice. And I think a trench coat also has a negative connotation, because it literally is only related to like flashers, which is really strange, and thankfully doesn't happen very much anymore. But it's like, why do people think trench coat, they think no clothes? Like, why are those two things connected? Because when you think of a sleeping bag, obviously you think someone's sleeping outside, so they must be wearing clothes. This won't be negative at all. Which is very good that that is not the case. Thank you, women, for wearing your clothes. You're doing a good job so far. Yes. So, I also noticed that in 2015 so far, that like I haven't, like my knowledge, like the amount of things that I know, have not increased beyond what they were in 2014. Like I literally still don't know much about the outside world besides things that are in my own like reality. Such as how a woman about a week ago at work, what she told me was that she had a thyroid problem. And so immediately I looked down at her thighs and was like, they seem all right to me. And she was very confused. So I clearly can't be an MD or a nurse because thyroids are probably not connected to your body. If they are, I don't know where they are. Also, I couldn't tell you how to like eat right whatsoever because I feel like my diet is literally crap. Which means coffee, ramen, anything chicken, including like chicken nuggets, chicken breasts, and then also the P stands for, can you guess what it is?
Pizza.
No.
Damn.
You say pasta? No. Do we got one more guess?
Popcorn.
No.
What?
Pop-Tarts. Yes, gotta have the smart Pop-Tarts in your lifestyle. So crap, nothing good about my diet. So I couldn't be a dietitian, clearly. And also, I noticed that I'm only really good at math when I have food be a part of the equation. For instance, I was working one day and they mentioned how like, oh, we're only gonna put 3 tender chicken nuggets in instead of 5. And so immediately I'm checking like the price, I'm like, oh, it still says $3.80 up here. That should be different. We're serving 60% less. And then they immediately are like, no, it's fine. That's just what we're going to keep it as. So immediately I think like, yo, that's a 90% markup based on what they are serving right now. And I just go back there and start getting my calculator out, which I haven't seen in months because there's no other reason for me to do math. And that was quite the stroll to get that math on deck. But yes, I am an English major. Math is not my friend whatsoever. So also I noticed that, so I don't really go out like a ton, like when I go to like parties and stuff. I usually want to stay at home and watch Netflix and get mad at it for being passive aggressive. But instead, I went out recently to like a party. And at this party, one of them was, like they were having some kind of conversation, 2 people, I wasn't really paying attention. Something I think is interesting, that I feel like women at parties have a lot better time than men at parties. I feel like as a man, I always have to initiate conversation and talk to people. But I feel like women can just sit on the wall and be chill. And I would love to be chill at a party. But instead I just have to go around, buzz around like a bee. Just literally sometimes actually buzzing around like a bee. Like, alright, what do we got here? Alright. But anyway, I was at this party, and one of the people, they were having a conversation, and at the end of the conversation, the guy was like, oh dude, I'll see you when I see you. And then he left the door. And I was like, hold on. Did he just literally, I will see you when I see you? Like we could both die, and they will be perfectly okay with that negotiation, because they'll see you when I see you. And so recently, what I have been doing in the past is whenever I would leave somebody, I would be like, oh, like, can we set up a meeting when we see each other again? Like a whole process. Even when I may not even want to see them again. So from now on, what I'm going to say is, I'll see you when I see you. And with that, I'll see you when I see you.
Appreciate you talking about my coat like that, man. That was real messed up.